Let me just say, if aliens wind up implanting eggs in my chest or something and I eat one of you, I'm sorry.
I do not want another single pop culture reference out of you for the rest of the trip, you understand?
I'm trying to say that something is coming.
Hey, guess what's buzzing in the MCU grapevine? It's the word on the street that Iron Man might be passing the torch to his little bro, Arno Stark. Yep, Tony Stark's got a brother named Arno, and rumor has it, he might just step up to fill the Iron Man-sized hole in the Avengers lineup. With RDJ's Iron Man taking a bow, Marvel's been on the hunt for a new face to lead the charge, and according to the grapevine, Bill Skarsgård might be slipping into the Iron Man suit as Arno Stark. Exciting stuff, right? Also, stick around till the end, as we discuss why Tony Stark has Marvel's worst family. But first, who is this brother that we all have never heard of? Arno Stark's tale is quite the twisty and somber one. He's the biological son of Howard and Maria Stark, but his story's far from typical. Going by the moniker Iron Man 2020, Arno's a real brainiac, always tinkering with tech and aiming sky high. Now, Tony Stark's no stranger to family drama, and his relationship with his folks, Maria and Howard, was rocky at best. Turns out they were keeping a whopper of a secret from him. Enter Arno, their firstborn, who's got a backstory that's straight out of a sci-fi flick. Apparently, he was cooked up with the help of an alien robot, then stashed away from Tony and the rest of the world until he was all grown up. Arno Stark's origin story takes a detour into outer space territory. In the comic Iron Man number 12 from 2013, written by Kieran Gillen and illustrated by Dale Eaglesham, things get cosmic for Maria and Howard Stark when they face a heartbreaking situation. Their unborn son Arno is on the brink of death. Desperate to save him, they strike a deal with an alien robot named Recorder 451. This extraterrestrial entity aims to enhance Arno's brain while he's still in the womb, hoping to mold him into a beacon of humanity's finest qualities. Unfortunately, despite the futuristic meddling, Arno's lung issues persist, leaving the Starks grappling with their son's fragile health. After Arno's birth, the family faces a tough road ahead. Arno is kept in isolation, cut off from the outside world as Howard Stark searches for a cure to his breathing problems. This ordeal ultimately leads to a poignant turn of events. The Starks decide to adopt a new son, Tony, in place of Arno, marking a bittersweet chapter in their family's saga. Howard Stark's intentions regarding Tony's adoption were no secret. He had left a recorded message for Tony, revealing the truth about his adoption. However, this message remained undiscovered by Iron Man and has now met its end. Following the tragic demise of Howard and Maria Stark in a car accident, Tony, their adopted son, stepped into a life filled with opportunities that Arno, their biological son, could only imagine. In the storyline spanning issues 12 to 17 of Iron Man from 2013, Tony stumbles upon the biggest secret his family harbored: his own adoption and the existence of his biological brother. Driven by a newfound sense of familial duty, Tony takes action. He liberates Arno from his confined existence in a hospital ward, determined to forge a path of change alongside his brother. In a gesture of trust and solidarity, Tony equips Arno with an Iron Man suit, symbolizing their shared mission to better the world. But beneath the surface of this reunion lies a shadowy truth about Arno Stark, hinting at darker complexities yet to be revealed. With his intellect cranked up to the max, Arno dives headfirst into a quest to outshine his brother's achievements. He goes all out, tinkering with his own brain to banish the need for sleep, tweaking his DNA, and jet-setting across the globe to win hearts with his charitable deeds. But things take a twist when Arno starts rubbing elbows with some unsavory characters, teaming up with Tony's foes to swipe resources from Stark Unlimited. As if that wasn't enough drama, Arno gears up for a showdown against a menacing AI called the Extinction Entity, which he believes is poised to wreak havoc on the world. To defend himself, he revives the remnants of Tony's legendary Iron Man armor, the Godbuster, fashioning his own suit for protection. And here's the thing. Turns out, the Extinction Entity is just a figment of Arno's imagination, and he's oblivious to the fact that his own health is taking a nosedive. Arno, armed with his own Iron Man suit, is all set to step into his brother's shoes and execute his grand scheme to rescue humanity from the clutches of artificial intelligence. In the pages of Tony Stark Iron Man number 19 by Dan Slott, Christos N. Gage, and Francesco Manna, Arno pulls off a sneaky move, convincing Tony that he's nothing more than a robotic clone of himself. This ruse gives ARNO full control over Stark Unlimited, effectively making him the new Iron Man and the ultimate boss of all Stark-related assets. His wild plan involves merging humanity with robots, using a mind control code, and even resurrecting his parents as robotic clones. Talk about aiming high, right? Thankfully, Tony sees through his brother's facade and uncovers the truth about ARNO's fabricated threats and his own declining health. Despite ARNO's intelligence and noble intentions, all he truly desires is freedom and a chance to reconnect with the family he barely knew. In Iron Man 2020 number 6, Tony decides to intervene before ARNO can enslave humanity. He locks his ailing brother inside a virtual armor Iron Man suit where ARNO lives in a tranquil simulation alongside digital versions of Howard and Maria Stark. Meanwhile, Tony dedicates himself to finding a cure for ARNO's condition. If Iron Man succeeds, there's hope that one day ARNO Stark could emerge from his virtual haven healthy and content once more. Now let me tell you how Tony Stark's family tree might seem like it's full of heroes at first glance, but dig a little deeper and you'll uncover a tangled web of supervillains and shady connections. From Tony's own dark past to revelations about his father's ties to the sinister Mephisto, it's clear that the Stark family isn't exactly the poster child for heroism. In fact, you could argue that they're one of the worst families in the Marvel Universe, with their actions causing harm not just on a personal level, but sometimes on a global scale too. It's a sobering thought, considering Tony's own journey from self-centered playboy to selfless hero. So, let's take a closer look at some of Tony Stark's most nefarious relatives from across the Marvel multiverse. From dark secrets to outright villainy, the Stark family saga is filled with enough drama to rival any soap opera. Buckle up, because this is one family tree you won't want to miss. Morgan Stark. In the comics, Morgan Stark is quite the antagonist, unlike his portrayal in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Tony's daughter. As the son of Tony's paternal uncle Edward Stark, Morgan grew up in the shadow of his more famous cousin. With limited access to the Stark fortune, he harbored resentment toward Tony, leading him down a path of gambling and debt. Morgan eventually turned against Tony, aligning himself with various villains like Count Nefaria and Norman Osborn. He even took control of a group of mercenaries and briefly wielded the powerful Ultimo android. Though he hasn't been seen much lately, there's always a chance he'll return to cause trouble for Tony. Gregory Stark. In the Ultimate Universe, Gregory Stark is Tony's twin brother, but their paths couldn't be more different. While Tony became a public figure as Iron Man, Gregory preferred to work in the shadows. He manipulated events to seize power within S.H.I.E.L.D. and attempted to establish a new world order. Using a swarm of nanites in his body, he gained superpowers and even wielded Mjolnir briefly. Ultimately, Tony and his allies were able to thwart Gregory's plans, stripping him of his powers and returning him to mortality. Well, that's it for today. What do you think about ARNO Stark stepping into the Iron Man role? Do you believe Tony Stark's family is truly Marvel's worst? Or do you see shades of redemption in their complex history? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on all things Marvel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss out on our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.